When does roster construction become an act of aggression? And what does it say about the Dodgers' absolute refusal to accept competition that they're now plotting to acquire Tarik Skubal, a two-time Cy Young winner and arguably the best left-handed pitcher on the planet, by offering a prospect package so loaded that even the Yankees couldn't compete? Good afternoon, Dodger Nation. It's Thursday, January 23rd, 2026, and the news coming out of Los Angeles today isn't just a rumor. It's not speculation. It's a threat to the competitive integrity of Major League Baseball itself. According to reports from John Conahan and Mark Powell, the Dodgers are preparing to make a move that, in their own words, would completely break baseball. We're talking about acquiring Tarik Skubal, the Detroit Tigers' ace, the probable best left-handed pitcher on the planet, and bringing him to California to join a rotation that's already historically dominant. Let me put this in perspective for you, because context is absolutely critical. Yesterday, we discussed how the Yankees walked away from Skubal negotiations because Detroit was asking for half the team in prospects. The Yankees, with all their financial resources, all their organizational depth, couldn't meet the price. But the Dodgers operate in a different reality. The depth of their farm system is so absurd, so stacked with elite talent, that they can assemble a package that makes the Tigers think twice without even touching the Major League roster. Here's the proposal on the table. Los Angeles receives Tarik Skubal. Detroit receives a package led by Emmett Sheehan, the shortstop Alex Freeland, a top 100 prospect, and pitchers Zachary Root and Patrick Copen. Let's analyze this coldly, because this is where the Dodgers' organizational brilliance really shines. Emmett Sheehan has already proven he has elite-level stuff in the majors. In Los Angeles, he's fighting to be the fifth starter. In Detroit, he'd be the number 2 starter immediately, with years of contractual control remaining. Alex Freeland solves the Tigers' hole at third base or shortstop. It's a present and future package that few teams in baseball can match. But what does this mean for the Dodgers? My friends, it's almost difficult to speak without laughing at the sheer audacity. Imagine a playoff rotation featuring Tarik Skubal, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, and Roki Sasaki. And that's before we even talk about Shohei Ohtani eventually returning to the mound. It's not just unfair. It's not just dominant. It's video game mode on easy. It's the kind of pitching staff that makes opposing managers file formal complaints with the commissioner's office before the series even starts. Skubal would bring the element that's been missing, a dominant left-handed ace in his absolute prime, controlled through arbitration, who doesn't cost $30 million this year, though he will eventually cost $300 million in free agency. He's the final piece to guarantee not just a three-peat, but a dynasty so overwhelming that the Yankees of the 1990s will look modest by comparison. He's the pitcher who can dominate in October. He's the guy who can shut down elite lineups. He's the missing link in a championship puzzle that's already nearly complete. Now, there are obstacles, and the report mentions them clearly. The Tigers would probably demand the inclusion of Zaire Hope, the Dodger sensation prospect who's been destroying in the minor leagues. Hope is viewed as untouchable by many analysts, the next great outfielder, the future cornerstone. Would Friedman have the audacity to trade away the next Bellinger to acquire Skubal? If the goal is winning now, if the objective is a three-peat, then the answer might be yes. Because in Los Angeles, the future is always secondary to the present championship window. And here's the thing about Detroit. They might still harbor the illusion that they can compete in 2026. Skubal is the face of the franchise. Trading him would be admitting defeat before the season even starts. But if they look at the AL Central and realize they're not going to contend, if they understand that Skubal is going to leave in free agency anyway, then the Dodgers' offer becomes tempting. Sheehan is a major league-ready arm. Freeland is a legitimate talent. Root and Copen are young pitchers with upside. It's a package that allows Detroit to rebuild while getting immediate big league production. But for the rest of baseball, this news is absolutely terrifying. The Yankees lost out on Skubal. The Mets got Freddy Peralta. If the Dodgers land Skubal, if they add a two-time Cy Young winner to a rotation that already features multiple aces, the 2026 World Series might as well be canceled and the trophy shipped directly to Dodger Stadium via overnight delivery. Because at that point, we're not talking about competition. We're talking about a coronation. Let's talk about what this rotation would look like if the Dodgers somehow pull off this trade. You'd have Tarik Skubal, a two-time Cy Young winner, taking the ball in Game 1 of playoff series. You'd have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Japanese sensation, lined up for Game 2. You'd have Tyler Glasnow, the power pitcher with triple-digit heat, ready for Game 3. You'd have Roki Sasaki, the young phenom with elite stuff, available for Game 4. And then you'd have Blake Snell, a Cy Young winner himself, waiting in the wings. That's not a rotation. That's a cheat code. That's the kind of pitching staff that makes the concept of competitive balance seem like a fairy tale. And when you combine that with an offense that features Kyle Tucker, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Teoscar Hernandez, plus a bullpen anchor by Edwin Diaz, you're looking at a team that's virtually unbeatable. You're looking at a roster so stacked, so loaded with all-stars at every position, that the 2026 regular season becomes a formality. The playoffs become a coronation. And the three-peat becomes not just possible, it becomes inevitable. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Is this sustainable? Can the Dodgers really keep adding elite talent at this rate? And the answer is yes, because they've got unlimited resources. Mark Walter has essentially given Andrew Friedman a blank check. The revenue generated by Shohei Ohtani's global brand, combined with bulletproof local TV contract, means the money is essentially infinite. They can pay luxury tax penalties that would bankrupt other organizations. They can afford to have multiple all-stars on the bench. They can afford to have 6 aces in the rotation. Because for the Dodgers, winning isn't just important. It's the only acceptable outcome. The phrase "break baseball" isn't hyperbole. The concentration of talent in Los Angeles is already historic. Adding Tarik Skubal will be the nuclear cherry on top of an already dominant cake. It would be the move that finally tips the scale so far in the Dodgers' favor that the rest of baseball might as well concede the season before opening day. So where does this leave us? Well, the Dodgers are plotting to acquire Tarik Skubal. They've got the prospect package to make it work. They've got the organizational depth to absorb the loss of Emmett Sheehan and Alex Freeland. And if they can pull this off, if they can add a 2-time Cy Young winner to a rotation that already features multiple aces, we're looking at a team that's historically unbalanced. We're looking at a roster so dominant that future generations will talk about the 2026 Dodgers the way we talk about the greatest teams in baseball history. Andrew Friedman never sleeps. If he smells blood in Detroit, if he senses that the Tigers might be willing to deal, Emmett Sheehan could be packing his bags at any moment. And we'll be here to cover every detail of this hegemony. Every move in this relentless pursuit of immortality. If this breakdown got your adrenaline pumping, if you're as fired up as I am about the possibility of Tarik Skubal in Dodger Blue, do me a favor. Smash that like button and drop a comment below. Do you think the Dodgers should trade for Tarik Skubal, even if it costs them elite prospects like Emmett Sheehan and Alex Freeland? Or is this too much? Let me know what you think, because this is the kind of move that defines dynasties. And I want to hear from every single one of you. Let's go Dodgers.